Could you describe a player who's golf fit?
Um, okay, I'll give you two ends of the spectrum, let's say. So if we're looking at Shane Lowry, for me would be very, very golf fit. There's a mindset out there that because there's not a visual, that they're not a chiseled Adonis looking athlete like an Adam Scott or a Dustin Johnson or Tiger in his prime, even Tiger now. There are other players out there that are golf fit in terms of their, and I like, for me, if I'm working with a player and they're struggling, let's take a generic 60-year-old male, it's going to be a mobility program or a mobility journey. Shane is extremely mobile. You can see that. He works with Robbie Cannon religiously on his golf fitness. Um, it's and then from there, once that is present, you have a foundation to create a golfer that might become faster, more powerful, etc. But it's there is no picture, there is no real image or silhouette of a golf fit player. I saw um, a video of John Daly the other night hitting a driving crooked stick that year he won, and like he was you know dancing with his feet, massive overswing as we know, ending up on his back foot, phenomenal abilities to create speed at that time. And yeah, like he at the time was golf fit. Bubba Watson, you could say, is golf fit. He's not. He even says in some of his videos he's doing some Peloton cycling, but I don't think he's a gym bunny by any means. But again, his movement is so conducive to playing golf. Very mobile, long levers, really good sequence. And again, if you broke down every player in the top 50, you could make a case of why they're golf fit, and many of them won't be the same story. But it's a very interesting subject. But again, might be a little bit different to maybe if you were to compare this to tennis. Why is someone tennis fit? Well, you'd have a different argument or discussion there. But for golf, for sure, there's all shapes that make a golfer.
In your view, then, can these, if you target the areas where the player is currently limited, can like, have you experience of seeing players get to the next level as a result?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I suppose looking at the game now, it has to be about speed. I mean, if I'm working, I work with a lot of kids, it's speed and it'll be mobility and speed. And, if kids are developing in certain years to be faster athletes, and if you miss that window, you're kind of struggling. But, and I have two in my head, two 12 or 13-year-olds that we have in Douglas, and they have massive potential and they're both working on their speed and their mobility, because it's where they're going to improve. If they don't, in my view, let's say they're not blessed with height or power or strength, they're going to have to develop it at an early age. And you know if they're lucky enough to get all the package and they've done the work in their early years, absolutely it can set them up for having an edge, let's say, all the way up through their different age groups. I'm a big believer in that for sure.